Hello, 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 hello. I'm greeting you here from the Eastern Cape, specifically Bethelsdorp. We left Strand early this morning, just about 4:15, and we just arrived here. It was about 700 k's that we did, and we've got a jam-packed week ahead of us. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's get going. So we're nearly in Bethelsdorp. Just a little way to go still.
Yes, and it's essentially a suburb of Gqeberha.
Yes.
So obviously it was all on its own many years ago.
And that's why we want to go and see it. Eh?
Yes, the history runs deep here.
Yep.
When I called Nelson Mandela Bay Tourism, they couldn't help me with much more info than I found online, which was just a little bit. But they did put me in touch with a lady who kindly agreed to meet you at the church.
Yes.
So she will be showing you a few interesting things.
I'm looking forward to that.
I have no doubt, because I don't know, the little bit she told me is wild. We're back in the natural beauty of the Eastern Cape.
Telling you, it is unique.
And it has a special place in that little heart of yours, eh?
Yeah, it does. You know, I've heard of Bethelsdorp before.
Me too, but I can't remember in what context.
Yeah, I can't remember what I heard about it. Oh boy. This is actually what we've come here for, eh? This is actually what we've come here for.
Is this a Catholic church?
Yeah.
Right. And this, I think, is what we're looking for. 1803 to 19.
Thank you.
Hello.
Van der Kemp Memorial. So this is a church, eh?
Yes,
And I'm speaking to Belinda Brown.
that's right.
Thank you so much for taking time to show us the place. This is incredible.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
Very interesting place.
I can imagine. I see there's a date on there that says 1803 to 1926.
Yes. It's during that time that Van der Kemp was sent here with the London Missionary Society.
Yes.
And this is when he decided to come and establish this place.
Okay.
But the area that you're looking at was later, the whole church was established by him. That area is part of the original area. We're going to go that side
Yes.
just now. Okay, that is part of the original. And then the church burned down. And then a couple of years later, the new church was built. And this is how this area looks now. But that was actually the original part.
You did tell me you don't like to fix yourself to dates.
Yeah.
But we did read that the church was redone in 1815 or something
That's
like that,
right.
after a fire or something
That's
like that.
right.
I can remember.
Yes.
And then it was, again in 1903 it was redone.
That's right.
But you know, the dates, like we've seen many times, don't correspond that often. So no, I understand totally.
Yeah.
I also see there's a
go in.
cornerstone which
Yeah.
was laid on the 14th of March 1926. Now that would confuse one. You see the cornerstone 1926 and the 1803 date on the top there.
Yes.
Yeah. I also love the fact that it's a national monument.
That's right.
Yes.
Declared a national monument, as well as the Livingston Cottage and the bell,
Okay.
the mission bell. Yeah. Okay.
It's the alarm system.
I think she must be busy with it still.
Look at this.
Okay. The This is the original church from then, as you said, in the 1900s.
So this is all original from when it was renovated in 1903?
Yes,
eh?
yes.
Such a pity it burnt down, eh?
Yeah.
I love the roof.
I like the atmosphere.
Tell me now, he was, Van der Kemp was from the London Missionary Society.
That's right, he was a missioner.
What religion is in this church?
Okay, at the moment it's the United Congregational Church.
Okay.
Okay, it's a few religions that's come together.
Okay.
But originally, when Van der Kemp came, it was all about Christianity. It was no specific denomination.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the original part of the church itself.
Wow.
Okay.
Absolutely beautiful. I love churches so much.
Yes, before we get to the Bible, let me just show you.
Okay.
This is the original tabernacle.
Okay, the original one.
The original tabernacle.
Fantastic.
Even the chair in the back there is the original chair that was used. You see?
I love the design of the ceiling. It's so
Yes.
beautiful. Okay, you mentioned the Bible.
Let's go there.
Let's have a look at this Bible. Sonia told me a brief little bit about it.
Okay, so there are two of the oldest Bibles in South Africa.
Yes.
And we are actually honored to have one of them here. Wow. Okay, you
In
can have a
South
look.
Africa.
In South Africa.
1664.
That's right.
What?
Okay. There you go.
This Bible, printed in Amsterdam in 1664, was brought to the Cape by Dr. Johannes Theodorus van der Kemp in 1799 and was used by him during his ministry at the Bethelsdorp Church from 1803 to 1811. It was restored by the Historical Society of Port Elizabeth. That's fantastic.
That's right. So as you can see.
Oh. Can't believe it's so old, eh? Look at this.
Yeah. It's actually very brittle.
Yeah, one should actually treat it with gloves, eh?
Yes, yes.
Look at that. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I'm just going to leave it.
Okay. And during that time as well, Van der Kemp brought the first, this is the oldest baptismal font in South Africa as well, where he taught the people during Christianity about baptism and the rites of the church. So this is the oldest font.
Now, when you say baptism is when they baptize the little baby?
Yes.
And grown-ups?
And grown-ups.
Okay.
It was a matter of being brought into the church as a member.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Incredible. So this is also from the same time period?
Yeah, that's right. It came in together with the Bible.
Really, eh? This is so interesting. Now this part of the church is still the original structure from 1803, and this door.
Still as is.
Fantastic.
If you come out, you can actually see the true image of how it was.
Yes. Oh, with the bottom, look at this.
That's still there. And by the way, I'll show you just now. These are boulders that come from the river. These are all boulders.
Oh, those rocks and stuff. Okay.
Yes. Okay. I'll come back to these two little contraptions here. I'll tell you
Okay.
about them. They're actually natural wells.
Serious?
Yes. This is the original house. It was built during that time of Van der Kemp, where some of the missioners lived. Remember, later on, there were other missioners who came in, and these ladies would teach the ladies of the village, domestic
things, arts, how to do proper ironing and cleaning and things like that.
All right.
So the ladies lived here, the old missioners lived here. We had people from the Dutch descent, German ladies, but they came and they stayed here as well.
Okay, that's interesting.
And if there were any other missioners that came, like John Philip,
Yes.
Somerset, they all came and they stayed over here.
Oh,
So
so
this
this is also still original.
Yes, it's still original.
Wow.
Yeah.
From that date when the original church was built.
That's right. Unfortunately, we can't go in there right now because we're waiting for reparations. The floors
okay.
are, but
Oh,
the
well, it
building
needs it,
itself definitely still stands strong.
Incredible, eh?
Yeah. Okay, so now we are
Oh, look
heading
at
to.
that.
This is Dr. Livingston's cottage. So we all know that Dr. Livingston was a philanthropist.
Yes, yes.
And his mission was, together with Reverend Reed and Mr. van der Kemp, was to teach the people here, the Khoisan people, to read and write. And also, of course, the main purpose was Christianity.
Oh, okay, to bring in the religion,
Yes.
yes.
So this cottage is where Livingston would come if he'd visited the nearby places like where Sarah Bartman lived, the Khamtus
yes.
areas and that. He would come from there and he would do his meditation and prayers and rest a bit before he would go on.
Oh, really? So this was his little place to come
This
and
is
settle
his,
down.
still standing strong, still original, also built with the, if you look at the structure at the bottom,
Yes, yes.
it's all boulders that's kept together with river sand, no cement.
And it's still standing
It's
till
still
today.
standing.
Fantastic, eh? Such a beautiful setting, eh?
Yes. If you look at the old pics, you'd find that all of this is on a hill,
Yes.
you know, with these little Khoisan huts around.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's changed a lot, eh? Well, I was expecting to come and find a small little village, and this place is enormous. Bethelsdorp is not a little
really-
dorpie anymore.
It's beautiful. But like I say, a lot of echoes of yesteryear.
Oh, yes.
You know,
it
and
has
we're trying to
be kept
restore.
alive, you
Yes, yes. We don't want reparation, we want
know?
restoration
Exactly.
of the history itself. And you see the size of the house?
Massive, eh?
Roof is still original as well.
That corrugated sheeting?
Yes, well, from the 1900s, but
Yes,
before then
okay.
it was the thatch roof.
Thatch roof, yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and of course, this place, as much as it has so much water, it was actually an arid piece of land. And everybody was confused as to why Van der Kemp would come here, because there was not a droplet of water. The Khoikhoi people learned to survive here, and they knew their survival skills. And one of the reasons why we still have the old wells here is because of what they used and how they dug out, you know, during that period of time. But when the colonialists arrived here, they didn't know this.
Okay.
That is why I say people were confused. Even Kyla at the time, who was in power
Yes.
as a commissioner in Uitenhage, also asked that question, why Bethelsdorp? There's nothing here. You know?
But there's so much water underground. eh?
Yes, yes. I'm going to show you an interesting fact when we finish at the slave bell,
Okay.
just below here as well.
Okay, cool. Now this is the market square. I read somewhere that it's called the market square.
Yes. Long before then, when Van der Kemp arrived here, this is the area that was actually inhabited mostly with the Khoi huts. So you
This
came
area,
in
yeah.
this area.
Okay.
And because everybody was used to this area, obviously close by to a water hole somewhere,
Yes.
this is the reason why it would actually be a meeting place for the Khoikhoi people. You know, later in the years, when they would go down into the salt pan area to go and work,
Yes.
this would be their meeting place. If there's any disciplinary issues to be addressed in the village, this would be the meeting place. So the bell is not really a slave bell.
Okay.
Van der Kemp came here to restore this place in his own way. As I said about Christianity, there were no slaves. So it's actually a mission bell. It was just to keep
Yes,
everything
yes.
in order.
Yeah, we'll call people to come for meetings and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So there were huts here, Khoisan huts.
Yeah. He found about 600 Khoisan huts at the time of his arrival. And
When he arrived here, there were about 600.
about 600 Khoisan
Wow,
huts.
so there was a big colony.
Yes.
What village over
Yes, it's not often said,
here? Yes.
but people living here were already working in the salt pans. The salt pans was already established when he arrived here. It's never really spoken about, but it is so. And that is the reason why I say he came here and he found that, and everybody wondered why. It's not like people were totally uncivilized.
Yeah, of
They
course.
survived,
Yes, yes.
you know. And also, like I said, we can go that way. I'm going to show you a bit of what the Khoisan people did when they lived here.
Okay.
But they survived, and I think he just put a little bit of more order into their lives. He was also known to be the leader at a later stage who walked around in Khoisan skins,
Oh, really?
because him and Reverend Reed were the first two people to cross the color barrier line.
Okay.
So both of them had Khoi wives.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that made it also very interesting.
That is interesting, eh?
Yes.
Well, they dedicated their lives to serving the community, you know. So
Yeah,
I
most
get that.
definite.
This is. Can I just go a bit closer? I just
Yep.
like to see this bell. And is this the original bell?
This is the original bell. It also came during the mid 1800s.
Absolutely.
Everything's still original to the last bolt.
Crazy. This is the other side of the original house that was built here.
Welcome to historic Bethelsdorp.
Yeah.
One can actually just feel it. Look at this.
Incredible. Look at these almshouses. Eh?
Yes, that's what they're called.
All this water here is natural underground water. Eh?
I heard her say that.
Yes.
This is the original almshouses. These houses were built for the destitute.
Okay.
A lot of the old people who stayed here, who worked also for the Dutch people,
Yes, yes.
they lived here. You can see the original roof is no longer, this was in the 1900s, but the original roof was a thatch roof.
Thatch roof, yes.
Yeah, and if you come closer, you can see what is still left over here that's still original. These, by the way, is also built with boulders, as you can see,
Oh, okay, out of the river.
out of the river and river sand. And this is where the horses used to saddle up. You can see it's still original there. Yes, 200 years ago.
They used to tie their horses up here?
Yes.
That is wild, eh?
But
And are there
everything
people
is,
still living here?
there's still people living there. The destitute people,
Yes.
there's a lot of people who are members of the church, and many of them that don't get into an old age home. Some of them are sickly.
Oh, I
So the
see.
church looks after them, and this is their haven.
Oh, so they come and live here.
Yes.
Hello, hello.
You can have a look. This is it.
This is the fantastic. This is so neat, eh?
All original still.
Fantastic. Baie dankie hoor.
Okay. Yeah, and then of course the two houses that are here
Yes.
are the same age as this place. It's also 200 years old. The two houses here.
Yes, yes. These
Also-
two, the one of the
This-
corrugated.
yes, and the one next to it.
Okay.
And then the one that side there that's broken down that we see,
Yes, that one over there.
that was the original house of Mr. Zwede. You know the area in Port Elizabeth named Zwedi?
Yes, yes.
That was his house. He was the first black principal. Okay, so the reeds that we're looking at here
Yeah.
have overgrown through the years, but in actual fact, in between those reeds are the wash basins of the old ladies that lived here.
What?
That did the washing for the Dutch people. They're still in there in between.
The wash basins.
The wash basins are still originally found in between.
Wow.
One of the reasons why these reeds are overgrown and no one's really removing them is that if you're going to see when we go, that's how the water is brown.
Okay.
But when the water comes through here and outside there, it is clear. So it's
filtered like a
pleasant,
filtration
natural
system.
filtration system. Yeah.
Wow, that's
So it's
fantastic.
become a geographic piece for us here in the village. So
Okay.
that is why it's left. But in between the wash basins are still found.
They should just open one.
Yes. Yes, we've spoken about that. But these reeds grow so quick also.
They do, eh? They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible.
So there's lots and lots of water from a place that had no water.
Yeah, supposedly didn't have water, eh?
Yes.
So Van der Kemp knew what he was doing. So this originally used to be thatch, eh?
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're over 200 years old.
Yeah.
Belinda? Perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye. She says that we're taking a drive very slowly so that we can have a look at the vegetation.
Okay.
It's mixed vegetation, which she'll explain when we stop. Don't destroy, enjoy.
That's
How
true.
true is that?
Yeah.
That's such a good motto.
Yeah.
It does look good here still.
It does look good. Looks amazing. What's this reserve's name called?
Van der Kemps Kloof.
Van der Kemps Kloof. Okay.
Beautiful road they made here.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So she said some of the linen medicine is made from like herbs and things found
Yes.
in this reserve as well.
Yes. Well, it's probably all over the area, but it originated from the Khoisan people's herbs and stuff
Yes.
that they used.
I'm sure they had a herb for every ailment.
Yeah, they had to make a plan, eh? There weren't pharmaceuticals
There
around.
there weren't drops
Yeah.
or pills back then.
It's a park.
Slide play park. Very cool.
Yeah. Now there's apparently a hiking trail around here too.
Yes. Look at these gorgeous trees, eh?
Yeah.
How beautiful is it here?
This is really nice to come and have a picnic and
Look at the water running there.
yes,
Is that all natural spring water?
natural water. Yeah.
So we're looking at the nature reserve. It's a well-kept area. This is Van der Kemp Kloof Nature Reserve. If you look around, you can find there are a large different kinds of species of plants. Can you see?
Yes, I can see that. Yeah.
We know a known fact that there are 7 biomes in the entire world, and 5 of them are found here.
Really, eh?
That's right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, very serene. And as you can see, it seems to be like a seasonal thing where you find that we have these veld fires with extreme weather conditions, but it's not long again and you see this kind of species coming out. This trail actually is the trail part of that, you know, the area, the hike that I spoke about. It comes out here from that area. It was well used by the Khoikhoi people who lived here, and you can see their survival. Everything that they needed was here. Also, it's also known for herbs like the villa als, wynryd, buchu. You know, all the medicinal herbs.
Yes, that you still get today.
That's right. For flus and colds,
yes.
rooi lavendel. It all grows naturally here in the environment here.
With the recent rains that you had, because I know the Nelson Mandela Bay area is going through a major drought, has this relieved a bit of the drought?
Look, we have our days when we had interruption in water. We couldn't get water and that, and a lot of the villagers would come to the area as you're leaving. Did you see how the clear water was coming out?
Yes, yes.
So they would use it, obviously not for human consumption,
yes,
but for whatever domestic uses.
Of
and
course,
that. Yes,
yes.
it definitely does play a very big role.
Beautiful spot, eh?
And I must say it's really well looked after.
Yeah.
Compared to some other places we've seen, this is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I love it.
If you're looking at the boulders, the formation of the boulders,
yes,
and there, can you see it's as if they're patterned?
I can see that they're shaped like rounded there.
That's right.
Yes.
This whole entire area was actually, it's known as the first chicken farmers. It's the Kemps family, one of the oldest families in Bethelsdorp, the Kemps family.
Yes.
So they actually started chicken farming. So many of the Khoikhoi people who lived there in the village outside, they came and they worked here.
On the Kemps family
chicken farm. Because you can actually see, if you look across there, where the
yes.
aloe is,
Yes.
it's all over where the farmhouses used to be.
Oh, against that ridge there.
That's right. You see? It is said actually that the Khoisan people didn't have grave sites.
Okay.
What they normally would do is they had this superstition that the moment somebody would die, they didn't want the ghost close by to the living. The dead must be separated far away. So
wow.
there are definitely Khoisan graves all over in between the hills as we
really?
see them, yes.
So as soon as they die, they have to go and bury them.
That's right.
Okay, that's
Special
really
ritual
interesting.
would be done, but
Yeah.
they would be buried up in the hills, away from those living at the bottom, yeah.
Who knew Bethelsdorp has so much
Yeah.
history?
Yeah, it has, eh?
I mean, I knew that there was, but it just keeps on coming.
Belinda's taking us to the cemetery.
She says there are some old graves.
Yes. Oh, that'll be cool to see. Oh yeah, look at this.
So this is one of the oldest parts of the graveyard, long before the rest of the graveyard was actually built.
Oh, this part, yeah, is the old one.
This part is
Okay.
the old one. As you can
As
see,
you can see, yes.
you see. Now this is actually my concern, because many of these that are buried here came in together with Van der Kemp and thereafter, and
Yes.
they've just forgotten. These are people who lived here.
Yes.
And there are many who actually married the Khoi woman here.
Yes.
So there is that beginning of lineage,
Oh, definitely,
and that
yeah.
is the thing that is actually a concern. So we need to go through the obituaries to know exactly who is actually buried here and where. Because
they're
even where
buried,
we're
yes.
walking now, there could be many that is already
Oh, covered up.
covered
yes.
up and destroyed.
I'd like
But
to
these are very old. Look at that one there.
Yes, maybe that one's the 1800s. That looks very old, eh?
Yeah. And if you look at the surname, Zwedi, remember
Yes.
I told you the first black principal?
Yes.
Mr. Zwedi. So that is his family.
Okay.
This is
and
his family.
1884 and passed away in 1961.
That's right.
This was born in 1889 and passed away in 1968. And Annie Mary, what? How do you pronounce that surname? Ochkenet.
Yeah, it looks like Okonet.
Ochkenet. 1891 and passed away in 1974. Interesting cemetery, yeah. Very neglected,
Yes, I see.
but she's trying her best to get people involved. But, she's got her hands full with that one.
How generous was she with her time and her
Incredible,
knowledge.
incredible.
Love that.
She's got loads of knowledge, eh? About the area. So if
Yeah, it
people
just
want to
keeps
know,
on
come and
coming.
know the history, they must definitely contact her.
Absolutely. No, this was fantastic. So I read it was reported to be the first congregational church in Southern Africa.
Yes.
That I thought was very interesting.
Seventh-day Adventists.
Doubling up as a feeding scheme and community service centre.
Ah.
That's great. The religious background of the town, I'll call it a little town,
Yes.
is very evident. Eh?
Ah, definitely.
might have been another church.
I don't think so. It might have been a general dealer or
A shop or something.
Okay. It's bright purple.
The bougainvillas.
It was just incredible to see how Bethelsdorp got started with this whole mission and the church that was built there back in 1803. All those houses and almshouses, eh?
Yes.
That was very interesting. I really found that interesting.
And so special to have found someone who knows so much about it all. So thank you to Belinda for her time.
Oh, that was amazing.